Plantar fasciitis is not really an inflammatory condition at all. In fact, plantar fasciitis is notorious for its absence of inflammatory cells altogether. There was a study conducted demonstrating this in the past, and that leads us to understand what types of treatments can be helpful for this condition and what treatments might be a waste of time. For inflammatory conditions, you may have been told in the past to rest, ice, maybe take some NSAIDs. But if we're treating something like an inflammatory condition that's not actually an inflammatory condition, do you see what I'm saying? Rolling out the bottom of the foot with a frozen water bottle or a tennis ball might give short term temporary pain relief of your symptoms in that moment. But a better use of your time is to first understand that plantar fasciitis is a condition where we are overloading the plantar fascial tissue far more than what we are able to handle. And we need to stop doing that. So the use of supportive orthotics, proper shoe wear, modifying our activities should be the first priority to reduce and ultimately eliminate the irritant as soon as possible. From there, we can gradually train and load the plantar fascia and associated connective tissue to strengthen the area so that we can handle the stresses that we place upon it. And this phase should be implemented as soon as we have brought our symptoms down to a tolerable pain level. I recently posted some of my favorite exercises for this stage of recovery. Let me know if you have any further questions.